I'm Vaughn Jedry, and I'm president of Safely Productive Consulting. I want to start a conversation with you about the impacts of psychological safety and the benefits of having programs in place to help manage the mental health of the workforce. This conversation is so important because we've worked a long time as an industry towards a goal of zero injury when our focus really needs to be on zero harm. And I want to talk about how psychological safety ties into the financial wellness of a good many construction businesses in Canada. So the example that I'll start with is WorkSafe BC. So WorkSafe BC was sitting on a massive surplus, and typically when there's a surplus of that magnitude, it's handed back to employers through, rebates, and they also see reductions in premium rates. But in British Columbia, that didn't happen. Even though WorkSafe BC's financial statements in 2019 show that the system was funded a full 23 points above the 130% floor that was set by insurance best practices. So by 2024, the funded ratio had dropped to 141%, with each percentage point representing about $135 million. That slide alone erased about $1.5 billion in breathing room that the WCB had to manage their overall operation. So in the same 6 years, WorkSafe BC's investment portfolio returned a net of $6.8 billion more than what actuaries said was needed to keep the system stable. And like in many other jurisdictions, BC's overall injury rate was decreasing, but the classification that was increasing was the amount of psychological safety injuries that were now compensable. At that time, while BC employers were improving their safety records, in any normal insurance model, a 12% decline in claims should have translated into lower premiums. But instead, WorkSafe BC reported $3 billion in surplus drawdowns between 2019 and 2026. So it sounds generous until you realize that the rate never actually dropped. The surplus subsidized a frozen rate, not a reduction. So to put that into perspective, the WCB collected $2.4 billion in premium income in 2024. If premiums alone had to cover that overspend, employer rates would have had to jump by 60%. That's how much was being spent, largely related to psychological safety claims. So I want to talk to you about the benefits of building in psychological safety and protecting the mental well-being and wellness of the workers as a program just as vital as fall protection or confined space. So you've invested in hard hats, harnesses, and fall protection. You built safety programs that work, but there's a risk on your job sites that you probably don't know about and that no hard hat can protect against. And it's already costing this industry more than we think. Construction workers are about 75% more likely to die by suicide than the general population. About 5,000 workers a year are dying by suicide, and that's 5 times more than all other workplace injuries. Nearly 2/3 experienced anxiety or depression in the last year alone, yet 5% or less ever seek help. So this isn't just a human welfare issue, it's a balance sheet issue. Untreated mental health issues are costing employers an average of $8,600 per worker per year. That's in turnover, absenteeism, and lost productivity. Poor psychological safety can cost a mid-sized construction company about $15 million annually. Workers' compensation claims for psychological injury are among the fastest growing cost categories in the industry. When workers don't feel safe in speaking up, small problems become big claims. But here's the other side of the equation. Companies that invest in psychological safety see a 27% higher team productivity rate, 25% lower absenteeism, and dramatically lower turnover. For every dollar invested in a psychological safety program, the return is $4 to $6 back. The construction industry has already proven that it can solve very hard problems. Physical injury rates have dropped 54% since 1992, and that happened because workers and leaders were committed to it. The same discipline applied here will deliver the very same result. So what will that look like? Psychological safety doesn't mean eliminating pressure. It means building an environment where your team can speak up about stress, about struggles, and about safety concerns without fear. That starts with 4 things. Toolbox talks, which are already happening, can normalize mental health conversations. Peer support programs on site, supervisor and manager training so that your leaders know what to look for and they can access employee assistance programs and get the workers connected to the help they need. It doesn't have to be a complicated process, but it does have to be intentional. So here's the call to action. You've built safer sites. Now build safer teams. Your workforce really is your most valuable asset, and protecting them fully means protecting their minds as well as their bodies. The cost of action is a fraction of the cost of inaction. So start the conversation today. Your team is ready and they're just waiting for you to lead it.